Yes, morning, Dan. This is obviously not an easy decision to publish a matter like this. It is, as we ourselves emphasized, a provisional report, and that means the findings may still change. We looked at this with our lawyers. We thought about it seriously, and we came to the conclusion that it is overwhelmingly in the public interest to publish. And this is amongst other reasons because there have been so consistent efforts by the state to suppress information around Nkandla on supposed secrecy grounds. Not only Thuli Madonsela's report, her work, but also in general. You'll remember that from the very start, supposedly at first, the amount spent was a secret. That would compromise the president's security. Of course, bit by bit, the secrecy was chipped away at, and this is us continuing doing that.
Yeah, but Thuli Madonsela, the public reporter, has been at pains to explain her process, and she said now once you get the feedback from the various stakeholders, the various role players, she would publish the provisional report, and you guys have gone ahead and published a leak, and you still think that is fine? That's in the public interest?
We think so. I think there is a real fear that Thuli Madonsela will be prevented from publishing what she needs to publish. That was, I think, the feeling of many people out there. That was our feeling. Also, I think one needs to take this entire process thing with a bit of a pinch of salt. You will remember that this is not dissimilar to a court process, and in court, of course, the prosecution makes its case, witnesses say what they think, and then the defense rebuts. Eventually, the judge comes to a conclusion. This is not dissimilar, and of course, all of that plays out in full view of the public. Now, it is not the first time that aspects of the public protected provisional report leaks. This is no different, and we felt, as I say, that it was necessary to bring this to the public attention while there are these consistent efforts to withhold this kind of information from the public.
Okay, now let's just go to what you've published, just to share with us some of the key highlights. I mean, we've seen there that some of the development that was done at Nkandla Homestead, according to this report, went beyond security upgrades. I mean, we see your headline is very bold and strong this morning, Zuma in the deep end. Just take us through some of the key highlights of what you found out.
Look, I think you've mentioned already that the security, the so-called security upgrade, exceeded legitimate security needs. So there's no way you're going to justify a new extensive cattle kraal, swimming pool, etc., millions and millions of rands worth of paving, and one of the very expensive aspects, the relocation of relatives. They all got new houses. 7.9 million rands worth of new houses built for relatives of the president. And this is because the architect thought, oh, well, it's not such a great idea to have the security fence meander around. We want a straight fence, so let's move the relatives. And there's some evidence, of course, and this is evidence not from the report, but which we have because we managed to get a lot of documentation through an access to information battle from the Department of Public Works. There's some evidence that this is something that the president himself wanted, was personally involved in the discussions around this, promised new houses to the relatives. So this is clearly something that's excessive. Then there are other things that are excessive, even if they are security defensible. So you would, for example, have 20 staff houses built for police protectors of the president. Madonsela says, but these houses could have been at the police station in town. In any case, they could have been built much more cheaply. 20 million rands to house 20 guards.
And also, finally, Stefaans, I just see that, according to your report, Thuli Madonsela is saying that the president has to pay back some of this cost, and that's going to be interesting how it plays out.
Yes, she does not try to quantify. We've tried to quantify, and again, from our information, it's about 20 million rands worth of improvements, the pool, etc., visitors' lounge, all of these things built at great cost. Now, Madonsela recommends that the police minister determines what is not properly in the security interest. Now, I don't think she really has a choice. Who else can decide? But it is a bit ironic that the very person who is partly behind this entire process now has to do the dividing.
Thank you very much. That's Stefaans Brümmer from the Mail and Guardian.
News that moves. eNCA.com.